Counselor Accents Podcast. Two school counselors who love their jobs. Oh, and they happen to have Southern accents too. Bless their hearts.
I'm Laura Rankhorn.
And I am Kim Crumbly. And together we are Counselor Accents, two school counselors who are in the trenches with you.
We know what you're going through because we're living it every single day. Oh, goodness, Kim. How are you?
Got a little bit of a hey, as my little boy calls it, a headache. And I guess it's all the pollen, if you will.
Okay. And the weather coming in, but we don't have to talk about that.
Oh, is weather coming in?
Wednesday. It's a weather alert day.
Okay, well, that's why my head started hurting. Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
That's why my head started hurting.
Well, we were just sitting here talking about all the stories that we have to tell. And
we always have stories to tell.
We do.
We have so many stories.
We're going to have to record more podcasts so that we can tell more stories.
The stories in.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the story that we have landed on for today it goes back to our California travels, which there are several adventures from our California travels that we haven't even talked about. And they're good ones, really good ones.
Oh, yes.
But we're going to tell this story because anything I can do, you can do better. That's the theme of the story.
That's exactly the theme.
Okay. So we decided to go eat. You were very excited about eating in, what's it called? Like Old San Diego, Old Town.
Yes, I can't remember, but it was like Old Town San Diego, a place that a must on the list.
Okay.
And so we went.
I am here to make all of your travel hopes and dreams come true.
Absolutely.
So I went on this adventure happy as can be.
With me, yes.
Yep. So I had on I didn't change clothes I think we had spoken that day, and I didn't change clothes because my pants are comfy. They're like they're dressy pants from Old Navy. Power Soft trousers is what they're called. And that's going to be important. Okay. That's important to the story.
To this. And it's embarrassing to me that she dresses like that, but it's okay. I mean, she wants to say that it's that, but okay.
True. It is. I do hear it a little bit. Like it's the polyester of today.
Uh-huh.
But if you're looking for some comfy work pants that look dressy, at least I think they look dressy, Power Soft trousers from Old Navy.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm tickled a bit that they're called Power Soft.
Power Soft.
Yeah.
Well, you've not felt them.
I have not.
So they're powerful, but they're also soft, just like myself. So
Power Soft trousers.
Yep. So I'm wearing these pants. We decide to eat at a restaurant in Old Town, and we sat down. We were very just parched. We were very parched. So we sat down. I don't even remember what happened. What were we there? We were there like 10 seconds.
Probably.
And I'm telling a story, and I was very demonstrative with my hands, and I knock a drink over. Not only did I knock it over, I knocked it into me. Like it comes back at me.
At you. That's
right.
And
so I've got the whole Coke. It was a Diet Coke. Thank goodness.
Yes. And that was important to your story.
That was important. I knocked the whole Diet Coke into my lap. Like I'm swimming. It is sitting on my Power Soft trousers. I'm soaked.
And you kept saying, it's diet. It's okay because it's diet. And that's going to be important to my story here in a little bit.
Okay.
It's okay. It's diet.
And it was okay. It's basically like pouring water on yourself because it's not sticky. It
so bad for your intestines, but you don't pay any attention to me.
And I've got proof. I've got proof that it's bad for your intestines, but yet I still keep doing it.
True. You're right. You're right.
So anyway, we walked around. Like by the time we got ready to walk around Old Town, I was dry as a bone. Power Soft trousers is where it's at. It dried these things.
It's a ricking fabric, if you will.
It must be. And so this week I was looking for some shorts for summer, and I saw that they have Power Soft shorts. And I thought, oh, I should get some of those because I love these pants so much. And I was looking at some of the, different points that they make about them to try to sell them to you. And one of the points was they are fast drying. And I thought, I need to leave a review right now and say, as a matter of fact, these are the
Try it.
fastest.
Pour Coke, pour Diet Coke
Try it.
all
Pour
over you.
Diet Coke.
And it was chilly, so I was very worried about
You were very worried.
But you were hungry, and you just said, no, we're going to sit here in this moisture-filled power trousers.
You were like, we will go down here and get you. I think you brought out some shorts that had San Diego across the backside. And I was like, I would rather sit in
this
Coke-filled pants.
If that's what it is.
Yeah.
If everybody thinks I'd sit here and pee myself.
It said San Diego.
Plus you wanted that taco.
Sandalicious.
And you wanted that taco. You wanted that taco.
Yeah, I did.
So I will pick up on that story from your, and I will say this too, if you are 12 feet tall, those pants will fit your legs. That's another reason. You're very limited. Like I'm limited on pants because I have feet that are 2 feet long and you have feet that are 6 feet long. So anyway,
so they're long enough.
Yesterday, I am with my entire family, and we are eating at Taco Mama's.
What is it with the taco places?
That's because we're so excited. And I am too parched, so I order a Coke, not a Diet Coke. This is important.
That's important. Okay.
And so I go to put the lid on the Diet Coke, and the table is at a bit of a slant toward me, and the whole drink spills into my pants. I am not wearing power trousers. I'm wearing linen.
Okay. A little bit classier, but not as functional.
Not as functional. And I kept yelling, it's not diet, because that's all I know you were yelling was it's diet. It's going to be okay. I'm yelling, it's not diet. It's not diet. I could feel
not
it
okay
on me, like that linen dried into a hard shell, like I was a turtle in these pants. My mother, who still thinks I'm five, jumps up. And she said, I'm running to go get you some more pants. And I'm like, run, mother, run.
I'm like, thanks, mama.
Thanks, mama. And we're sitting outside. So I see her running like a chicken, her hands flailing in the air. My baby, my baby. And she's running to go get me some emergency pants. So I sit there. They bring me another Coke. I go to put the lid on said Coke. The Coke starts sliding toward me. I dump second cup of Coke into my lap.
At this point,
I'm dripping. At this point, everyone around me is laughing. My family is like, if they wouldn't care if I was having a stroke, which I should have acted like I was instead of just sitting there. It was like, my mother comes back with the pants. This is my second cup. Thank heavens she didn't get back with the pants and have to go back for a third pair of pants. So the lady next table over pulls out baby wipes, and she pulls out all the stuff. Her and my mother are getting me all, I try to, but hey, the thing is that first had hardened into a shell. I was soaking wet again. I mean, soaking wet. It was a bad deal. It was a bad deal.
We're going to start getting you some Power Soft trousers. It's the bib for our age group. It's the bib because it dries so quickly. And so
these did not wick, but that I did it twice. I don't know that I've ever spilled a drink in my lap ever, but to do it twice, that's what happened. It was crazy. It was crazy. It did not have the wicking, nor was it diet. So that was my key takeaway from yours.
Yeah, you get it now.
You were yelling, it's diet. I was like, it's not diet.
Yeah. Well, I knew I was going to be okay because I knew the ants were not going to you were seconds away from the ants coming and crawling up your legs and eating you alive.
Eating me alive.
Oh, goodness.
Anyway.
Well, I do think you're always going to one-up me if possible.
Yes, we had not even got to tell that story before that happened to me.
Yeah.
And I did send you a picture of me sitting between my mother and my daddy wearing my new pants that did not match the top. But hey, mother had to get them quickly. I
Yeah.
think she went to the front of the line telling them that my daughter had had an accident. They think I had peed my pants and I was 5. They were probably thinking them's awfully big breeches for
For a 5-year-old who's wetting her pants.
who's wetting her pants.
Well, we have a really special guest with us today. Her name is Barbara Ladd, and she has a really amazing story. I know her, okay? So I don't want to spoil it for her story, but it's a
Doozy.
it's a doozy. It's a doozy. So let's just jump right in and find out what it is that Barbara has done. Kim, you know how we always say that we are kind of like detectives when we do this job?
We do.
Well, we have a real life detective with us today.
Mm.
I love a good true crime podcast. I love a
You do.
good
You
documentary.
really do.
Well,
Yes.
I am practically BFFs with somebody who, well, I don't want to spoil it, but let's just say that it goes right along with what we're talking about today. Okay.
Well, I'm jelly about
Yeah.
the BFF,
Uh-huh.
but she seems super cool, so I don't blame you. And
Well,
I don't know
really,
who
she's
says
my
super
sister's.
cool. I don't know who says super cool. I think the kids say eating now. You're eating or
I'm
you're
going to
eating.
say, if you're still saying super cool, you are not, in fact, super cool. Yeah. So she is my sister's BFF. So by proxy, mine.
She kind of looks like your sister.
She does, doesn't she? And she's
Yeah,
as
she
tall as
does.
we are too. So it's
Are
like,
you tall?
yeah, she
I'm
is.
tall.
She's
I guess
tall.
I'm pretty tall.
She doesn't know she's tall, like you don't know you're tall.
Okay.
I actually do kind of like being tall.
Laura loves being tall because she just
Yeah.
kind of checks that everybody looks at tall people. When we walk in, everybody's looking at, and you can hear them whispering, she's tall.
But Barbara, are you like this? I don't realize I'm tall. And so I see, like, I'm around Kim all the time. And so I think that we're the same size. And she is like a little baby Chihuahua, and I am a Great Dane. And we have those same dog personalities where I'm going to try to fit into a box and she's going to take up all the space.
It is so true. It is so true. That is so funny.
I think I used to not like being tall when I was younger, but now that I'm older, I like it, and I'll even wear shoes that make me even taller. So
She does the same.
Yeah, because I don't realize it.
Yes.
So, Barbara, you have a job. You're not a school counselor, but you are like a school counselor cousin. So you are very close you work in the same type of field. So why don't you explain a little bit about what your job is? And then we are going to get into some very exciting things. Not that your
Okay.
job's not exciting. It is exciting.
I am not nearly as cool as school counselors. I guess my official title is program specialist. But I have a really cool job because I get to go into schools and teach lessons that I feel like kids need. A big part of that is going to the 5th grade classes and getting them ready for middle school. So,
Oh, I want a whole podcast on that.
Right? Hey, that doesn't even scratch the surface. She sent me a whole thing that's a
Oh,
whole other
gosh.
podcast episode. Okay. So she is the real deal.
She's going to be on more than Julia Cook.
She may be our new host. I've got news for you, Kim. This was an intervention.
She's going to be like, what is the comedian that's been on SNL like 6 times? He got a jacket or something. I don't know. She's going to be like getting the jacket.
Yes. So I told you that her job is very akin to what we do. And I know that the school counselors in your county are very grateful for you and all the work that you do. You're always busy doing such great things. So, a few years ago, you happened upon a very giant discovery. So why don't you start
I'm
with,
eating peanuts. Like, I'm so excited.
it's like the movie theater over here.
I
So
know.
tell us how this started. Just, I don't even know where to start, but I guess where it started.
Start with the beginning. You know what? Start from the
A very
beginning.
good
The
place to start.
beginning. Okay. So I guess the interesting part of the story starts in January 2018. And actually, at that time, I was a stay-at-home mom, and I only had 3 kids at that time. Now I have 4 kids, but
I
it
was
was
waiting. I was holding my breath for the number now. I only had 3. I'm like, my gosh, she's had 16 since then. Okay. Got you. I'm caught up so far.
so yes, so January 29th, 2018, I had a 7-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 10-month-old. And so they usually went to bed about 7 p.m. So after I put them to bed, my husband and I, he went to bed early as well because he's a construction worker.
Yeah.
And so after he went to bed, I was kind of just opening my phone and I got on social media, Facebook, and I saw an article about, I think the title was something like 1985 Marion County John Doe. And Marion County is right next to the county I live in, which is Franklin County, and really only a 30-minute drive from my home. And so that really um, caught my interest. So I opened it and I read the article. The article was written by Ben Benton, and it was about an investigator named Larry Davis, who, when he first kind of came on the scene back in 1985, I guess, this body that was found was one of his cases that had still not been solved.
Hi, Ben.
It was a cold case. Like,
Yes, it was a cold case. So,
and
the
I'm
body
sure
was
those
found.
are haunting to the investigators because, like, you put so much of your time and energy into those in trying to solve those cases, and then
Yes.
there's no solution. So, yeah.
Yeah, so this article, so Larry Davis is now getting ready to retire, and he contacted Ben Benton and said, please run a story on this Marion County John Doe. I think we can solve it. And so that's how I found the article. It was talking about this John Doe that was found, and it was asking the publics for their help finding his identity.
So
And
this is
so,
like 30 years later, right? I mean, like 85,
yeah, I think it was like
33 years?
38 years. Yeah,
Okay, 38 years.
38 years. Yep. And so I was curious and I thought, I'll give this a shot and see if I can figure out who this guy is. So
You did not. Okay, let me get this straight. You've got a 10-month-old baby,
mhm.
and you're reading an article, and you decide, you're interested in the article because it happened in a nearby town that you're familiar with.
Yes.
You think, I'm going to dig in, I'm going to put my FBI hat on. How old were you in 1985 to begin with?
Let's see. I was
I feel like that's violating some kind of.
Look, I'm going to imagine she was 3.
like
So,
seven.
yeah, okay. And so this happened when you were 7 years old, but you decide without any kind of degree that has investigative on it, you're going to solve it. I'm loving it so far.
Yeah, so I don't remember how I found out about this website called NamUs. It's NAMUS, NamUs or NamUs. I'm not really sure how you pronounce it, but basically you can look for unidentified people, and you can also look for missing people. And so I just did the search of missing people who went missing around this time in 1985. And I kind of decided to look in Georgia because that just felt right. And
Close. Like it borders.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
yeah.
Listen,
I
I know a
thought,
lot about this area, Kim, because this is my hometown. You can talk a lot about Alabama. I can tell you anything you need to know about Tennessee. Okay.
Gotcha. Okay. So it very well could have been Georgia. So you're looking to Georgia.
yes.
Okay, go ahead.
And maybe 30 minutes into that search, I found a missing person by the name of Donald Boardman, and pretty much everything fit. So I was pretty confident that I had found the identity of this missing person. In fact, I text Lindsay
My
and
sister.
said, "Hey, I think I just found the identity of this John Doe."
Oh,
And turns out I was right.
so what did that feel like whenever you're putting these pieces together? It took you 30 minutes.
And how embarrassing for the man that put his whole career. No, but a lot of these investigators, because I come from a family of investigators, and when they were doing it, it was very different work
Right.
than
Exactly.
what's able now. So I'm sure if that was still on his mind, he was a good investigator because he was not letting that go. But a lot of people from the way they worked, would not have thought about that. But you don't remember what made you go to NamUs? You don't know what made you go to that site? Or,
Yeah, I don't remember why I knew that there was that website. It might have even just been that I was searching for missing people and I came
and
upon
that
that
came up.
website. But that once I found that, that's where I kind of entered. I know you can put like a date range, and you can search by state. And so I kind of just was going through the list of missing men that were missing in Georgia around that time, and I guess eliminating them as I was going through them. But when I got
So
to Donald,
and I'm trying to wrap my head around this. You're reading this article that this man is missing, and
hmm
his name is,
She didn't know
um,
his name at that time, right?
okay, so you don't know his name, or you did know
All
his
she
name?
had
I
were
didn't know his name.
Okay.
Um, from the newspaper, he's just listed as the Marion County John Doe, and so they were asking for help in identifying
So
who he
how would
was.
you know this Donald Foreman could be that John Doe just from the time period and the place?
Yes, it's Boardman, but yes, from the
Boardman.
time that he went missing, and weight, height, approximate age, those kind of things
so
kind of
they
lined up.
so based on the remains, they gave the approximations. And so you were like, you did a
Mhm.
reverse search, basically. And you were like,
Yes,
okay, I'm gonna see
basically.
who went missing and fit this description. And
Mhm.
sometimes I would say, like, he was found in Tennessee. So it could be that they were pigeonholing just Tennessee, looking just at Tennessee, and you kind of broadened the perspective a little bit and thought, well, let's look in Georgia or let's look in, wherever else.
Yeah, I kind of just thought about it, and I thought if I were going to do something like this, I would cross state lines. And so Georgia it just made sense, I guess, really.
So what had happened to him?
Um, they speculate that he was, well, he was definitely hit in the back of the head.
Wow.
So that is how he died. But they think that he was robbed because he had a brand new Camaro. And so I guess it was very popular. Those cars were very popular and might have been the number one stolen car back in 1985. And so he had a brand new Camaro, and they think that is why. Um, but I'm
They
not
were still
convinced
in the
on
car.
that because if you just want to steal somebody's car, it doesn't make sense to murder somebody for their car.
So I see those wheels are still
Mhm.
Yeah,
turning.
there's
I
more
still those wheels are
investigation to
still
be
turning.
done.
So tell me, how did you who did you contact with the information first?
I sent an email to the district attorney's office. I actually sent it to Larry Davis because that's his contact info was in there. But I also I knew Steve Blunt, which was one of the assistant district attorneys. So I sent it to him as well. Turns out it went to his junk mail. But So I sent it to Larry Davis. I sent it to one of my friends, Steve Blunt, and Mike Taylor as well. He was the main attorney general of the district, I guess. So
And I mean, when you emailed them, what did you say? I've solved the crime for you. Or did you say, hey, contact me. I've got some information you might need. What did you say?
So I felt very confident that it was a match and that time would prove that it really was him. I was a lot more humble in my email and I said, maybe you weren't aware of this guy, Donald Boardman, but he went missing in Georgia. All of this fits, like his height fits, the time frame fits, like just showing them how everything fit. And then I put his picture next to their composite sketch of the John Doe, and I said, I knew that was the piece that would seal the deal of, yes, this is probably him.
So there was a composite sketch.
There
and then
was a
there was
composite
real
sketch.
photo.
Yes.
I could bust through this roof with excitement that you were able to do this. I mean, like, what in the world is this? And so how did you find out that you were exactly on track with solving this?
Oh, okay. I originally contacted the investigator in 2018, and we had a lot of back and forth. We even had some phone conversations. And last I talked to him, he was meeting with like the namest people in Nashville to see about confirming that this was him. And he was constantly making promises that he was going to keep me updated. And so I waited a long time. I was being very patient, and I basically kind of just told myself stories that would make me not be upset. Like, he's probably investigating a murder and he probably can't talk to me right now. Logical stuff like that.
Right.
But I guess after I contacted him again in 2021 and he still didn't reply, that's when I decided to contact Chamblee Police Department. Because when I originally contacted him, I said, hey, Chamblee Police Department, these are the people that took the missing person report for Donald Boardman. I even gave him the phone number to the police station and assumed that he would call them and work out the details of how do we confirm this. And he did not do that, in fact. So anyways, I didn't know that at the time, but when I contacted Chamblee Police Department in 2021, I actually did it through Facebook because I wanted them to have like a face with the tip so they would, just to make it seem more real, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I sent a bunch of messages with all the information that I had originally given to Larry Davis. And that's when Lori Bradburn got that information. And then she's like, hey, I think you're right. And she actually did something with it. So I gave her all the same information, and then I gave her Larry's information. And so then she contacted Larry directly, and they did police work together, even though she's really a civilian employee at Chamblee Police Department. And then Lori ended up tracking down Donald's sister and was able to do the DNA confirmation. And so that happened in 2022. So as soon as she got the information, she definitely went to work on
Getting
confirming
that DNA
Yes,
and everything
yes,
that she needed.
yes.
That
Okay.
is such a cool story. I mean, I'm blown away. So have you thought about, did that make your blood was it kind of in your blood then? And like, I want to do more. Have you looked at other cases? Are you looking at other cases?
So at the time, and even still currently, because now I have 4 kids, I like, I'm not crossing it off the list. I'm not crossing it off the list. But I think I'm just really curious about certain things, and I'll hyper focus on something for a while until I'm no longer curious about it. So, I don't know if eventually I'll go back and maybe help. I have had some offers to, hey, can you look at this case? And I might be at a point pretty soon where my kids are grown enough that I might have some time to do that. And so we'll see if it's something I
That
pursue
comes
in the
up in the
future, I
future.
guess. I
Well,
don't know.
I'm right now. I'm right now Googling unsolved cases and I'm on it. That is such a neat story, and I almost can see that on a podcast, being a podcast, can't
It is
you?
on a podcast. It's our
Not
podcast.
our podcast. You know those podcasts like it leaves you, dun, dun, dun,
If
like
it was featured on My Favorite Murder,
Oh, yeah.
and because it was featured on that, there were 2 newspaper articles about it being featured on that podcast, I guess.
Did they interview
Um,
you? Did you get to talk to them?
they did not interview me, sadly. I think they interviewed Keith Sharon. Keith Sharon was the newspaper reporter that did an article for the Tennessean on this case.
That's a big deal, Kim. I don't know if you understand what a big deal it is to
anytime
be in
you
the
add
Tennessean.
Ian to Tennessee, I do.
It's the
a
state newspaper. It goes
Tennessean.
everywhere in the
Yes,
state.
I
Okay.
am. Yes, I
Like
got
that's a big deal, Barbara. As a Tennessean, I can say what a big deal that is, that your article was in the Tennessean.
There we go. And so, no, you know how they do those true crime podcasts like y'all were talking about? I
Yeah.
can see being on there and then breaking it down like this happened and then, something like that. But
Well,
we would do it here.
after
Just
this airs, I mean, there's no telling what kind of offers you'll get.
There's no telling, really.
does it
Number
make you
one
think
podcast
though?
in
No, go
school.
ahead. What were you going to say?
She was singing our praises.
You guys are a big deal.
Oh, yeah, as big as the Tennessean. To you,
Bigger.
Tennessee people.
Bigger. You guys travel around the United States, all over.
I wonder if there's more of this, and I'm sure, I am absolutely sure, because it's in every business, it's
Yeah.
in every industry. I've seen it in horrible doctors, great doctors, horrible investigators, great investigators,
Mhm.
great teachers, bad teachers, good counselors, bad counselors. And you just wonder how much of this people depend on investigators, and really sometimes you have to make sure yourself that that's getting done. I mean, I bet it made you wonder how many crimes are really solvable, especially in this day and age. And they just, it's just a who's wanting to go back and do that cold case.
Well,
Now
I
with
think
technology.
there are so many parallels that we could make between school counseling and what you've done, Barbara. I think a lot of times we look at a situation or we look at a story so much that there's value in bringing in another set of eyes or another person to kind of see those things that maybe we missed, or to look at it from different angles. And that's what you did. You came in with a fresh set of eyes and thought, okay, let's expand this a little bit. Let's look here instead of just here. And I don't know that that's what they were doing, but it seems logical. So, I don't know. That's only one parallel, and my brain is just going all over the place with so many different ways that this goes along with what we do every day in education.
We're definitely investigators, and I
We
say
are.
that just today. And that's how I make things fun that I don't want to do. I had some girl drama, and the teacher was just like, I cannot deal with this. I said, I'm on an investigative journey. And so it's like peeling onions, getting to the root sometimes. But we look at a lot of things as investigating because that makes it fun. If something I don't want to look at data, I look at it as investigating. I have to ask, have you reached out to any of the family, or have you met any of the family, or did they recognize your part into this? And there may not be much family there.
So his sister was still alive, and I did speak with her, and she was really, when they contacted her to tell her that the DNA was a match and this was actually her brother, she basically had short-term amnesia because it was so shocking to her.
Really?
She had a car accident the previous day, and so that was maybe made her a little more sensitive to the shock of the news, but she really walked around for about 24 hours kind of in a state of shock, and not really understanding what was going on. So um, it was hard, I guess, to have that many years of not knowing what happened, and then for it to be confirmed that even though she said that they were pretty sure that he had passed away, that he had been murdered, I guess just the shock of it kind of really was,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Well, I guess it's like she had to process all of it all over again.
Mhm.
And, even if the assumption was that he had died, there had to be a sliver of hope that one day he would show up again.
Mhm.
And so then that just kind of closed that door. And I'm sure it brought her some closure that she needed just in that moment. And with
Mhm.
everything she had experienced the day before, my goodness.
Mhm. Yeah.
So is there any investigation going on as to who murdered? Is there anything that continues on, or is it too much time passed to find out what more of what happened, or is that still ongoing, or?
So after he disappeared, his car was found towards the end of November, and it was found with I think three known criminals, two men and a woman. And so I think law enforcement, like I said, they think that it was a car robbery. Um, I think it was something else, and I actually turned that tip into the FBI, but they haven't contacted me, so I don't know.
They must not know about you.
They must not know about you. So how are these people, are those people looked at as possible murders, or
The two men had already
died?
died. The woman was still alive, but she died shortly after. She died shortly after in 2022. And so I don't think they're investigating his murder. I think they're just kind of assuming that the people that had his car did it.
Murdered him. And you wonder if that when that you first investigated 2018, if the woman was alive enough to maybe even confess, or her family might know something. It just makes me wonder if they had acted quicker, they might have gotten. But I don't know. What do you think about that?
I think it was definitely a better chance of maybe figuring out what happened because so much time had passed, and two of the people were already deceased. So I think you definitely could have gotten some more information.
Question
Yeah.
her, and she might have even said it was one of them at this point, and
Mhm.
just to know. So yeah, that's the problem with the dragging, not yours, because you had it solved quickly, but the not following up on that as quickly. So that's very, it's just, it does not surprise me talking to you that you did that, but that is just goes to show when, like you said, that hyper focus when you're digging in what you can't do and what you can't accomplish. And it sounds like a little bit you kept some feet to the fire, that where things might have been just skipped over or passed over or let go, and you didn't, for his memory and for for that family. So way to go. Way to go. That is just like, this has been very interesting talking to you. So is there anything else about that that has changed the way you think or do things from that experience? Or what do you think you
Um,
learned from that experience?
I just really think God's so cool because really, um, anybody could have solved this. I mean, if I could do it in 30 minutes, anybody could have done it in 30 minutes, or just about anybody if they had taken the time to do it, right?
Right? Yeah.
And so I just think that it's really cool that God included me in this because it's in my top 10 coolest things I've done,
I
I
would
guess.
say so. I would say so. And that would be the party thing where they say, give me one line of truth.
Oh,
And they're all
yeah.
going to say, well, that's the lie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, you solved a murder.
in 30 minutes.
It really did kind of take everybody. Larry Davis, he may have dropped the ball in some areas, but he did bring it back into public awareness, which is where I saw the story. And then Lori Bradburn actually finding the sister in Florida to get the DNA sample for the confirmation. And even I think the sketch was done by the forensic Dr. Bass at University of Knoxville. And so his forensic sketch was just really, really, really great. It actually looked like him. I don't know if you've seen like old-timey forensic sketches, but they're not always very accurate. But it was a really great sketch, and that was kind of the point where I was positive it was him. All the details matched up, but the sketch, I mean, the hairstyle was even, I think it was like the mirror image of the way that he actually wore his hair. But so it was just everybody doing their part and then all the dots lining up. And that just is how great our God is.
You said cool. I say cool, and I get cut down because
Well,
cool
you know,
anymore.
when she said
But
cool,
Barbara says cool.
when she
so
said
I can say
it, I
cool.
changed my mind and I was like, okay, well, she's cool.
Oh, I can say cool
So-
now?
Well, I was just going to say it may not be the word that doesn't make
Tough.
it makes you not cool. There may be some other
Are
factors.
there some other things that are
At play,
holding me
yeah.
back from that cool? Okay, I gotcha.
Well, Barbara, is there anything that we have left unturned here? Is there anything that you want to include that we haven't asked you about?
Not that I can think of. I don't think so. I think you guys are very tough. I think tough is what they're saying now. Tough is like TUFF.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
Yes.
okay.
Yeah, I think that's the new, you ate that. I think
Okay.
it's
Oh,
tough.
So
okay.
move on,
Okay.
Kim. Move on.
Thanks.
And
Well, I
go-
told my kids here at school, my middle schoolers, I told them, I thanked them for keeping me abreast of the new words. And they said, Miss Crumbly, that you use the word abreast means that you're past us able to help you. Like, how old are you that
I
you would
can't
use
believe
the
you
word
said abreast in a middle school.
Well, they're used to me using old English words, if you will. And I'm like, thank you for keeping me abreast. And they're like, because you are using words from the Shakespeare, then you're out of we can't help you anymore.
That is brave to say, use that word in a middle school.
Yeah.
Very
I do
brave.
a lot of brave things, and sometimes I get in big trouble for it.
And sometimes unintentionally you do brave.
I didn't know that was brave. That was just stupid.
Oh, now we can say we're tough. But, you know, we are kind of behind the times down here. So it'll probably make its way to us next year if that's what they're currently saying. Well, this has been just, it's like it has brought so much of my favorite things together. Barbara, number one. Number two, Tennessee. Number three, true crime. Like, I feel like a kid in a candy store right now because it's like my favorite things. And you, Kim. Also you.
And I have sat here and ate peanuts like I was just listening to this story, like this is the greatest story. And now I love this story because now I can tell it. Like I'll also be saying you got to listen to the podcast because
By the time she retells it, Barbara, she will have solved the crime. I just want to give you a heads up.
it could be. It could be.
I support that. I support
Thank
that.
you. You just go with it.
As promised. Wasn't that
You
a great
delivered.
story?
It was
Yeah.
really a good story. I love stories. I love to just, people's lives interest me anyway. And that was pretty interesting.
Mhm.
Not pretty interesting. That was very interesting. The difference she made in that family's lives
Yeah.
by taking the time to do a little investigative reporting herself. And then the best part of that whole thing was though that she kept feet to the fire and
Mhm.
kept making sure that got looked into and taken care of. How interesting.
Oh, I know. And I don't, this is not just a true crime story. This is not, we're a school counseling podcast, but I thought, how neat is it that she does a very similar job to what we do? And there are just so many takeaways. Like that is what we do so often we're advocates. We advocate. She was advocating for this person and for this family, even though she didn't know the family. She was like, no, we need accountability here. And we do that a lot of times. And, sometimes balls get dropped and we have to keep following up and make sure that different people have done their part to get services for our students or, justice or whatever
It's
it
in
is.
our blood. It's in our
Yeah.
nature. I think
Yeah.
we are the people who will investigate a little further, dig a little deeper. I think it's just who we are in our business. We're the people gathering the facts and getting to the bottom of issues. And we deal a lot with situations that are unpleasant, are scary, and we've been there, done that. And I think I can see school counselors very much taking many hats and playing many roles because we do it every day.
Yeah.
And so kudos, yay, Barbara.
Good job. All right. Well, anything that we have going on, Kim, or anything we want to talk about? We've got a few little travel stops coming up. We're going to be in Mississippi soon. That's very exciting. And then we are already looking forward to fall of 2026. We got some places on our agenda.
We do. Yeah, we've got some states to visit. So I think we counted up, we've done about 20 states and we're hoping to hit all 50.
Yeah, I'm glad you said 50. I was
Well,
a little unsure.
All providences and
Outlying areas.
I will go to Canada. Just
We'll
call
go to
me and
we'll go to
see.
Guam. We'll go to Puerto Rico, wherever.
Wherever. Yeah,
Yeah.
just let us know.
All right. Well, as always, you can like us on Facebook. You can follow us on Instagram. You can come to our house. You can whatever you need to do
If
to get more
anybody's
of us.
listening from Spain, I really want to go to Spain. If anybody.
Ireland, we're
Oh.
coming to you.
Oh,
Yeah.
we're not limited.